Okay, so how is there ways to you kind of let's think of a campus example where you're gonna have lots of switches, then you get the aggregation piece, and then you get the data center. Is there ways to strategies today start in the middle and then work your way to the edge, or what? How do you see this evolving over the next 2 years or 3 to 5 years with that more advanced
Yeah,
visibility?
that's the key, kind of where Arista comes into play, and is, and I think why they acquired Awake. They really are kind of setting a new trend of like making it cost effective to get the visibility deep into the campus. So if you think about some of the challenges NDR has had, is you've got to drop in all these sensors everywhere, and it becomes super expensive if you've got to deploy that throughout your entire campus network. In fact, when I came here, we were trying to go through architecture discussions, and they were shocked that, oh wow, these sensors cost as much as all the campus network or more itself to just monitor the security. And as a business, that's probably not practical. So one of the things that Arista's done really well is they took the core components of the sensor for the NDR and built them right into the switch, which allows us to get as deep in the network as you can be on a campus. Not necessarily a full packet capture, but like those key ports and protocols that you want to watch lateral movement and stuff for staging, or access that shouldn't be permitted. You're able to watch that and then filter it back up to a top level analytic and visualize it. So that's where the campus can really excel without deploying additional equipment, and Arista's kind of set the trend for embedding that in the switch.
So basically, you're embedding it with the switch versus the first generation or the first attempt at this was like companies like Darktrace, which dedicated appliances. You now can take that and distribute it quite a bit more. Is that the kind of like the second generation onto this? Or
yeah, I think it's really kind of put it's a different challenge for a lot of the NDR, I would say, competitors at some level, because without being embedded in the switch, they still are at that cost model where they've got to deploy virtual or some type of hardware sensor, to get deep in the network and get that traffic visibility. And if you're an incident responder, one of the challenges you always have is if they did the staging or transmission of data, back and forth in those deep networks, you typically would ask for logs, and they just didn't exist. So you might be trying to leverage the endpoint to get that, but sometimes they've destroyed or wiped out the artifacts. So endpoint's great for if you can get the archive of the data that was staged, but if they've wiped that out and they've covered their tracks really well, the only thing you have is the network traffic going across to kind of get an idea of what was moved.